So Liberty, my beautiful little 2-year-old, has been very curious lately about her body. If there's a hole, she puts something in it. Or if she knows that somebody else has a hole, she's also going to put something in it. Just trying to figure it out. I mean, Lorelai went through a phase, not to this extent, but a phase nonetheless, where she was trying to figure out her body too. Anyway, well, Liberty, hers has been a bit more intense, but you know, she's intense about everything, so I can't, you know, we should have expected this. Well, we have been calling her vagina a no-no spot, and we stopped calling it that because we don't want her to think that it's bad. We need her to know that you don't stuff things up there, basically. So we started calling it her vagina because that is in fact what it is. Well, today Lorelai and Liberty asked me what a vagina is. Now, they are notorious for asking me things when my husband is at work, so I can't just pawn it off on him. And considering I have the parts, I figured I would be, you know, I will answer that. So I sat him down and I said, you know what, honey, girls, a vagina, girls have vaginas, and we have them because that's how the babies come out of our tummies. And they both remembered when I was pregnant with Lucas, so they knew there was a baby in mommy's tummy. And then when I came home, there wasn't a baby anymore. It was out of my tummy and I was a lot smaller. So I figured, you know, that's how they come out. You know, and they said, oh, okay, like, yeah, that sounds good. And I was like, do you have any questions? They're like, no. Can I go play now? I was like, of course, you know, sweet. Win on my mom belt, right? Very, very little wins on my mom belt. So I was taking that as a complete success. Well, a little while later, Lorelai, I couldn't find her. And our house isn't very big. And so when I can't find one of the kids, I kind of freak out a little bit. I'm like, oh my gosh, where are they? Because they like to get into places that they're not supposed to, and like they like to get underneath a bed in my bed, but it's too small. It's easy for them to get under, but then they can't get out because their little heads are a little too big. Anyway, so they get stuck. So I was afraid of that. So I'm freaking out everywhere, and I go back in their room and I find Lorelai lying inside the pillowcase, her pillowcase. She took the pillow out and she was inside the pillowcase with completely covered, like her head was at the top and she had covered it with like pulled the pillowcase over, so she had, you know, she was covered but they were still breathing. But I thought it was just a pile of blankets because she had taken off all of her blankets and surrounded her and made a nest, is what she calls it, just like they do on some of the different shows. One of her favorite dinosaur shows. Anyway, so I said, honey, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she goes, Mommy, I'm pretending. And I said, okay, well, what are you pretending to be? And she goes, Mommy, I'm pretending to be a vagina. And I said, oh, okay, enjoy. And I just walked away. And I was like, oh my gosh, usually I have something funny to say to this, or, you know, something good for her to say to this, right? Well, no, apparently not today. So I walk back and I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk to her. We're going to figure out why she wanted to be a vagina. Like, see what's going on here. Maybe there's a bit more explaining I need to do. I mean, she's 3, so there's not going to be too in-depth, but let me try. And so I gave it a few minutes, and I walked back in, and she's still just trying, and in this pillowcase. And of course it's a pink pillowcase nonetheless, right? So all of a sudden her head pops out and it hit me. She is being a baby inside of a vagina coming out. So she's being a baby being born. Okay, so at this point I'm trying really hard not to laugh because her creativity, like, I've got to give it to her. That girl's creative. So I said, honey, why are you pretending to be a vagina? And she goes, I'm practicing. I said, why are you practicing? And expecting her to say something like, you know, when I have babies when I'm older or something like that. Just, you know, something to that effect. No. What she said next completely just, I never know what to say. Anyway, she goes, Mommy, I'm practicing for when you have a baby. And I looked at her kind of funny and I said, honey, there's no baby in Mommy's tummy. And she goes, I've been asking Jesus. There's gonna be a baby in your tummy. So here's my dilemma. She asked Santa for a baby brother. And we told her that Santa's not the one to ask. She needs to ask Heavenly Father and Jesus for if that's what she wants, because right now it's really out of our control. There's, you know, Mommy and Daddy can't do anything unless Heavenly Father and Jesus say, you know, that they want us to have a baby. And if they don't, then that's okay, because she already has a brother and sister. You know, once again, trying to, you know, get it on her level. And she goes, Mommy, I'm practicing because Heavenly Father is going to give me a little sister, and I need to be ready so I can help her come out. Now, that's extremely cute, but at the same time, I do not know what to say. So this morning started out with Liberty trying to put things up her sister's butthole, and now Lorelai is being a vagina. I don't know if I'm just really causing them to need therapy or if this is a normal thing, but kids, man, they keep you guessing, I guess. I don't know. I just don't even know what to do. So I'm sitting here, they're having some quiet time. Mommy's having some quiet time with my 90s music because that's what I do. And I'm trying to figure out my next step. I have a feeling that my next step might be wait until my husband gets home and let him figure it out, and I'll just go along with it, because I've answered some really hard questions today. It's his turn. So we'll see what happens. Wish me luck.